Hey everyone, and welcome back to Anime Taiyo. Jujutsu Kaisen's third season has been a non stop spectacle. But episode 4, Perfect Preparation, has become its most talked about chapter. While hailed by many as an animation masterpiece, it's also sparked passionate debate. Today, we are diving deep into this divisive episode. We'll analyze its breathtaking highs, its controversial creative choices, and ask the big question: did its pursuit of style sacrifice some crucial emotional substance? The episode's ambitious scope was clear from the start. At 28 minutes, it was given a longer runtime than any standard episode, a clear sign from MAPPA that this was a special event. The production assembled an all star team of animators, and the priority treatment shows in every meticulously drawn frame. The extended length promised room for the story to breathe, especially for a character moment as monumental as Maki Zenin's transformation. And at its core, the episode's foundation is rock solid. The tragic, codependent relationship between Maki and her twin sister Mai is the devastating heart of this story. Since childhood, they were deemed worthless by their misogynistic clan. This shared trauma fractured them. Maki rebelled, striving for strength to smash the system, while Mai internalized the hatred, resenting the path Maki's defiance forced her down. Their final conversation is the emotional peak. Mortally wounded, Mai makes a choice that redefines their entire bitter relationship. She doesn't curse her sister, she gifts Maki her power. By sacrificing her own life, she breaks the metaphysical link that held them both back. Her final words, "destroy everything," are a command to burn their poisonous legacy to the ground. It's a powerful, tragic end that should leave the audience reeling. However, this is where a significant portion of the audience, including myself, felt the episode stumbled in its execution. The transition from this profound loss to Maki's rampage feels jarringly abrupt. Mai's body is barely cold before the action kicks into high gear. The manga allowed that moment of horrific realization to linger, making her subsequent rage feel like a torrent of grief. The anime's faster pacing rushes past that crucial emotional silence. This issue is compounded by one of the episode's most debated choices: the soundtrack and stylistic homage during the rampage. As Maki unleashes her new power on the Kukuru unit, the screen shifts to a stark black and white palette with vivid red blood splatter, a clear nod to the stylized violence of Kill Bill. While visually striking, the accompanying music often leans into a more energetic, almost heroic tone. For many, this clashes tonally with what is fundamentally a scene of traumatic, grief fueled slaughter. The manga presented this as a horrifying, emotionally raw purge. The anime's presentation, with its cool stylistic flair and upbeat track, can feel like it's celebrating the violence rather than sitting in the tragedy of it. It prioritizes cinematic coolness over the character's poignant inner turmoil. Now, this isn't to say the animation itself isn't masterful. It absolutely is. This is where the episode truly shines as a technical achievement. The work by the all star team of animators is nothing short of phenomenal. Maki's movement against the Hay unit is a fluid, brutal ballet of pure physical domination. Every impact feels visceral. The climax, featuring a stunning X ray shot of Naoya's skull shattering, is a cathartic and brilliantly animated punctuation mark. The artistry on display is top tier and deserves all the praise it gets. So, where does that leave us? Perfect Preparation is an episode of staggering contradictions. It contains some of the most powerful character writing in the series, brought to life by arguably the best animation Jujutsu Kaisen has ever seen. Yet, its directorial choices in pacing and tone risk undermining the very emotional weight it worked so hard to establish. It gives us a legendary power-up sequence, but slightly fumbles the human moment that justifies it. This divide in reception is fascinating. For some, the sheer spectacle and artistic bravado make it an instant classic. For others, the emotional core feels slightly hollowed out by the need for cinematic flair. Both perspectives are valid. What do you think? Did the stylistic choices enhance Maki's story for you, or did they create a disconnect? Could this arc have benefited from being expanded into 2 episodes to let the grief and rage marinate? Let's discuss it in the comments below. If you enjoy these deep dives into what works and what doesn't in anime storytelling, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more. This has been Anime Tayo. Thanks for watching.